Number 3. Feeling no disgust. Disgust is one of the most ancient emotions in the human library. It evolved specifically to stop you from eating rotten meat, touching infectious material, and making deeply inadvisable reproductive choices. It has a dedicated facial expression, a physical reflex, and its own section in every psychology textbook, and some people simply don't have it. Certain individuals with damage to the insular cortex, a region buried deep in the brain, lose the ability to feel disgusted entirely. They can handle things that would make most people back away slowly and reconsider their life choices, all without flinching, gagging, or experiencing any of the usual social alarm bells that disgust normally provides. In medical and emergency settings, this is legitimately useful. Surgeons, paramedics, and pathologists often score low on disgust sensitivity, and it directly correlates with their ability to function under conditions that would compromise someone with a fully active gag reflex. Research also links low disgust sensitivity to more tolerant social attitudes, since disgust is quietly responsible for a surprisingly large portion of moral judgment and in-group bias. Your gut reaction to things you find morally repulsive? Largely disgust in a philosophical costume, so people without it aren't just unbothered by bad smells. They're also walking around with one less irrational emotional filter clouding their judgment, which is either enlightened or mildly unsettling, depending on how attached you are to your gag reflex. Number 2. Superhuman pain tolerance. There are people walking around right now who have broken bones, touched burning stoves, and sat through 3-hour meetings and felt absolutely nothing. Congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP, is a genetic condition where the nervous system simply refuses to file pain reports. The nerves exist, they just ghost the brain like an unanswered text. On paper, this sounds like the ultimate upgrade. Dentist appointments? Fine. Stubbing your toe? Whatever. Getting a tattoo the size of a car hood? Sure, go off. But here's what nobody tells you. Pain is basically your body's internal customer complaints department, and without it, serious damage goes completely unreported. Kids with CIP chew through their own tongues as toddlers because teething hurts everyone else into stopping. They fracture joints repeatedly without knowing, get infections that spiral because they ignored the warning signals, and have a statistically shorter life expectancy because the body keeps accumulating damage with zero feedback. It's like driving a car with no dashboard. Everything seems fine until the engine falls out on the highway. Pain isn't punishment. It's a subscription service your nervous system runs to keep you structurally intact. People with CIP canceled the subscription, and their body is slowly filing for bankruptcy as a result. Number 1. Seeing sound as color. Some people hear a trumpet and see gold. Others hear a minor chord and watch blue bleed across their vision like ink dropped in water. This is chromesthesia, a form of synesthesia, where sound automatically triggers a color experience in the brain. It's not imagination. It's not metaphor. The colors literally appear, uninvited, like a visual notification system nobody installed but can't uninstall. The condition happens because the brain regions responsible for processing sound and color sit close together, and in synesthetes, the wiring between them is unusually enthusiastic. Signals leak, borders dissolve, one sense throws a house party and accidentally invites another. Many famous musicians reportedly had this. Pharrell Williams, Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder, and researchers believe it may actually enhance musical creativity by giving composers an extra sensory layer to work with. Writing music becomes painting. Performing becomes a private light show. Sounds cool, right? It mostly is. Except imagine being in a loud restaurant where the clinking cutlery is generating an involuntary abstract art installation across your visual field while you're just trying to read the menu. Or sitting through a particularly aggressive car alarm, or listening to someone chew. The brain decided one sense wasn't enough and cross-wired the whole system. Rude, honestly, but also kind of gorgeous. Number 6. Sleeping almost never. The average human spends roughly a third of their life unconscious, drooling into a pillow, completely unavailable to the world. And then there are people with a mutation in the DEC2 gene who simply need less. Not insomniacs, those people are tired and miserable. Short sleepers are fully functional on 4 to 6 hours a night, wake up without alarms, and apparently spend the leftover hours being aggressively productive while the rest of us are still bargaining with our snooze buttons. They're not sleep deprived. Their brains process and consolidate sleep cycles faster, compressing what takes your brain 8 hours into something closer to a long nap. Scientists at UCSF have been studying families that carry this mutation, and the short sleepers aren't just awake, they're alert, positive, and tend to have higher pain tolerance as a bonus side effect. It's like their biology decided 8 hours was inefficient and submitted an optimization request to evolution. The rest of us are still waiting for that update to download. Of course, if you don't have the mutation and you're sleeping 5 hours because you're watching one more episode at 1 a.m., that's a completely different story. That's not a superpower. That's just poor decision-making with a delayed invoice, and your cardiovascular system will be sending it eventually. Number 5. Feeling other people's pain. Literally. Empathy is usually considered a soft emotional concept, something you express with sad eyes and a casserole. But for people with mirror-touch synesthesia, empathy is a full-contact sport. When they watch someone get slapped, they feel the slap. When they see a stranger stub their own toe registers the impact like a phantom complaint. The condition works because everyone has mirror neurons, brain cells, that activate both when you do something and when you watch someone else do it. They're the reason yawning is contagious, and watching someone cut onions makes your eyes water. In mirror-touch synesthetes, this system is turned up to a volume no one asked for. Their brains blur the line between self and other so aggressively that observation becomes sensation. Interestingly, many people with this condition are drawn to caregiving careers, nursing, therapy, social work, because they literally feel what patients are going through. That's either a superpower or the most emotionally exhausting career path imaginable, possibly both. Imagine watching an action movie and walking out bruised. Imagine a handshake being a shared experience. Imagine sitting next to someone at the dentist. Actually, don't. The point is, their nervous system decided empathy should have real-world consequences, and it absolutely committed to the bit. Number 4, you can't feel fear. Somewhere in your brain sits a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala, and its entire job is to make you scream at spiders and sweat through job interviews. Now imagine that thing just didn't work. That's Urbach-Wieth disease, a rare genetic condition that slowly calcifies the amygdala like it's turning your fear center into a decorative rock. People with this condition have walked up to armed criminals, laughed during horror movies, and handled snakes with the casual energy of someone picking up a TV remote. Scientists literally took a patient nicknamed SM and exposed her to haunted houses, tarantulas, and clips designed to traumatize. She was fascinated, delighted, even. The researchers were more scared than she was. Now, before you say, that sounds amazing, consider this. Fear is actually your body's overprotective best friend. It keeps you from stepping into traffic, trusting the wrong people, and ordering the gas station sushi. Without it, the world stops being dangerous and starts being one big fascinating death trap you keep cheerfully walking into. SM once got held at knife point and reportedly felt curious. So yes, zero fear is a superpower. It's also a very efficient way to collect near-death experiences.